Greetings everyone, hello. Thank you very much. Let's do the prayers before we do the teachings. As we warm up, we charge our motivation and resolution in having the refuge and amazing precious gift. That is when we turn our mind to it as always as precious and true and useful and beneficial as it is. But when we drift away, then we realize we are completely lost it again. Like losing your jewelry, misplacing it, and you're running up and down looking for it, you can't find it. But this is not a misplaceable one. This gem cannot be robbed by others, cannot be misplaced. This is going to remain strong as long as you're mindful to guard it. And that's why these prayers help us to recollect our memory from the day we first heard the Dharma and the day we actually said, yes, this is for me. So we need to rekindle this again and again and relish just that, refuge, and then practice the teachings, which is the refuge of refuge. Our doing of it is the real refuge. It's not some other will come and protect, guard. Our own conscious ability to think, do, and feel according to the Dharma's torch, we are in refuge. So we are affirming that when we're doing the refuge. It's really not just a startup at the beginning. Throughout the whole session of teaching, you just stay in the refuge. Stay in the cool shade of the Dharma's knowledge from the heat of samsara. Oyenda Buddha Dharma Sanga refuge enlightenment by virtue Ajivendala Ashare Bodh Gaya and Buddha Dharma Sanga refuge enlightenment by virtue Ajivendala Ashare Bodh Gaya and Buddha Dharma Sanga refuge enlightenment by virtue Ajivendala Ashare Bodh Gaya. May all beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never part from happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment, aversion, those never. May all beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never part from happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment, aversion, those never. May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never part from the happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to the near and far. Now we do the Heart Sutra. Perfection of wisdom is beyond thought and expression. Being unborn and unceasing, its nature is sky. I pay homage to the domain of discriminating self, which is peak, together with the great assembly Sanga and great assembly Bodhisattvas. At that time, Blessed One was absorbed in Samadhi, an enumeration of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Superior Avalokiteshvara, was contemplating on the meaning of the profound perfection of wisdom. And he saw the five aggregates also empty of inherent existence. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the Bodhisattva, the Mahasattva, Superior Avalokiteshvara, how should son or daughter of good lineage train who wishes to practice profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and Bodhisattva Mahasattva Superior Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra. Shariputra, whatever son or daughter of good lineage wishes to practice profound perfection of wisdom should view in this way. They should correctly view the five aggregates also as empty of inherent existence. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, composition of factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, in the same way, all phenomena are merely empty. They are without characteristic. They are not created. They do not cease. They have not impurity. They are not devoid of impurity. They do not increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition of factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, and no phenomena. There is no I element, and so forth, up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance, no exhaustion of ignorance, so forth. There is no aging and death, no exhaustion of aging and death. In the same way, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because Bodhisattvas have no attainment, they depend on and abide in the perfection of wisdom. Because the minds are without obstruction, they are without fear. Having completely passed beyond all error, they go to the completion nirvana. Also, Buddha abide in the three times. Having relied upon the perfection of wisdom, became manifestly perfect Buddhas, the said ones who are perfect and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of perfection of wisdom is mantra of great knowledge, unsurpassable mantra, mantra equal to the unequal, mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering. Because it's not false, it should be known as the truth. Mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tadyatham gade bara Sanga de bodhiso, Tadyatham gade bara Sanga de bodhiso, Tadyatham gade bara Sanga de bodhiso, Tadyatham bara Sanga de bodhiso, Tadyatham gade 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 bara Sanga de bodhiso, Tadyatham bara Sanga de bodhiso, Tadyatham gade 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 bara Sanga de bodhiso. Shariputra Bodhisattva Master should train in the profound perfection in that way. Then the Blessed One arose from the Samadhi and said to the Bodhisattva Master, Superior Avalokiteshvara, well done, well done, well done, one of good lineage, just one of good lineage, knowledge is like that. Profound perfection wisdom should be practiced just as you have taught. Even the Tathagatas rejoice in this. The Blessed One having so spoken, Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Master, the Superior Avalokitesh, all that are bad that gather there, and those of the worlds, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, filled with admiration, praise the words of the Blessed One. So, welcome everyone to the teachings on the 37 factors of enlightenment, which has divided into 7 groups. And the first 3 groups of the 3, what we call the close placement of mindfulness, or 4 foundation class mindfulness, or 4 closely placed mindfulness, mindfulness body, as being not pure, or rather as insubstantial, gas, liquid, and solid. And therefore meditating on that instead of developing craving and desire for it. It's very profound mindfulness, because that will stop you from craving and desiring undesirable things. And when you lose them, you do not have a sense of loss, because they are not a desirable thing to keep, let alone grasp anyway. And close placement of mindfulness feeling is, all feelings are impermanent. They do not have independent existence. They are made out of many, comprised by many factors, and so therefore all feelings, no matter how pleasant they are, you shouldn't worry they're losing them, cause of them, or no matter how unpleasant feeling you went through, you shouldn't moan and groan about this, because they're all impermanent. They don't exist. They've gone. The cause is gone. Why you're still stuck in that? Only people who haven't got mindfulness are stuck in the past feelings. So the close placement of mindfulness of body, mindful feeling, and close placement of mindfulness of thought is all your thought and subject and object of your thoughts are mirage-like. They don't really exist as they appear. They're just figment of your conceptual thoughts. Otherwise, they don't really exist. Like a thirsty person on a hot spring day, they see there's a water there. Actually, there's not even a drop of water. They see the mirages. Likewise, all your thoughts are deluded perceptions. They are not real. Let alone the objects. So having close placement mindfulness of thought makes yourself not become so stuck and think your thoughts are very important. You get so attached to them. You never have quenched your thirst by drinking mirage, have you? So why bother investing so much in your deluded thoughts? So close placement mindfulness of phenomena is all phenomena are empty. Like we were reading the Heart Sutra, phenomena are merely imputed. They don't have any independent monolithic existence from their own side. So he or she or what they did or any phenomena is completely your mind only. Other than your thought about them, things don't have any independence. They are mere imputation of your mind. So when a person has these first 4 close placement mindfulness, they're already on the path of accumulation. Beginner's path of accumulation. They have refuge. They have refuge in the triple gem. People who are merely doing mindfulness meditation without any understanding of these four close placement mindfulness, they have no understanding of the teaching of this impure body, impermanent feeling, and mirage-like thoughts and emptiness of phenomena. They have no idea. They just simply try to use meditation as a relaxation strategy. It's not Buddhism. They have no refuge in the Buddhism. No wonder why they don't have any belief in Buddhism. And then we have the second group of that is for what we call for right effort or for renunciation. So this is where a practitioner now diligently engages into in dropping the negative deeds that existed, habits from past, and not picking any new negative habits anymore, and adopting or maintaining existing positive habits, if you have, of the body, speech, and mind, and adopting new ones, such as listening to teachings every week, and not try to, I'll always try to make sure that commitment holds. Not because you say, the topic is same, the teacher's same, or same group. Some people like, they want to go somewhere, they want to learn something. They don't realize the teaching is, you listen 100,000 times, still you will always hear something completely necessarily refreshingly new for you. So that kind of diligence to keep maintaining your commitment to study, to read. Sakya Pandita said, even if you're dying tomorrow, you should still study. You don't say, I've done that, I've done that. So lots of people are thinking like that. Dharma is not ordinary fields of study. You did that course, you finished that course type of thing. Many lifetimes we learn still Dharma is very deep. And so this kind of commitment to study is right effort. So a person who has adopted the four right effort and renounced the opposite, then they are on the path of what we call intermediate path of accumulation. And you will see they are changing many things in their life, Ever since they've been in Dharma, they couldn't believe how much small but steady progress they have made. Because they are investing in the right effort. You don't retire from Dharma. You don't retire from Dharma duties. If you do, you have a profound misunderstanding of Dharma. Be that your practice, be that what you do for the Sangha or with the Sangha, you continue, So that's the right effort. When you have right effort, you have four renunciation. You renounce idleness, laziness, discouragement, and so on. And then we did the four legs of miracles last week. The legs of miracles mainly leaning onto the person who's practicing on the advanced path of accumulation. You not only have refuge, you have bodhicitta, you are actually practicing lots of meditation, lots of calm abiding meditation, so much so that your devotion to the meditation and that you almost have discovered new sets of legs with which you can traverse and conquer and reach places and spaces that you never thought was possible, because you're able to see the absence of laziness, forgetfulness, and doubt, and all the hindrances, the 5 hindrances of meditations are all miraculously destroyed because you have discovered the legs, So that's what we covered in the past sessions. Now tonight we are moving on to the fourth topic. The fourth topic is the 5 powers. The 5 powers. Now this is already now, when you're talking about the 5 powers, we're talking about supernatural powers that derive from the 4 legs of miracles meditation. So now you actually have the power. And so when it says the 5 powers, these are 5 specific things that are named after the 5 sense organs. The 4 miraculous were named after legs. Like people who are crippled have legs. Likewise, these 5 powers are named after 5 sense organs. So now you actually have senses that are sensible. Yeah. So you have amazing power. There are 5 sets of power, 5 things that are power. First is faith. All the way from faith to wisdom, these 5 are powers that has 3 qualities. That is something you have that you didn't have before, Because people who have faith, they have it, It's not something they didn't have before. And it's completely different from having and not having. So you are possessor of the faith, and you have the quality of having the faith, and then you have the power. You say yopa, yunten, nupa in Tibetan. Yopa means that you have, the existence of a faith, and the quality is that actually has given you, boosted you some kind of potency. You have a certain quality that previously you didn't know how to have or how to do, and now you have power to overcome the opposite of faith. What's that? Doubt. Now, people who reach this level are path of preparation, they never lose faith. Their faith in the 4 seals of Dharma, their faith in the triple gem, their faith in the 4 seals of Dharma. We were talking about the meanings of the first 4 close placement of mindfulness. They are just the 4 seals of Dharma. Now you have complete faith because you know it, you have it, and it empowers you. When you have faith that the suffering is prevalent, you see suffering, you never complain. This is the power. People who complain about some people with power problems are because they don't have faith in the knowledge that the suffering is prevalent. You don't complain the water is wet, because water is. But if you don't know what is wet, you'll be surprised. This is wet water. Can you believe it? So, people who act as though they have never seen suffering in their life, and they get shocked with sentient beings with problem, and they think, I can't have people like this in our midst, and we can't have Sangha members behaving like that in us. That kind of shows that they don't have the faith in the 4 seals of Dharma. They don't have the quality of having heard it, because they don't show any sign of realization. Now, the people this is path of preparation. This is path of preparation practitioner have this power of faith. And this faith is so faith that they have validated through the experience. They know the teachings of the 4 seals of Dharma are so true, and every time they think about it, it has a quality of lucidifying their mind. It creates a lucency and clarity of mind. They are so clear that sentient beings with sufferings are nature of sentient beings. And because of that, if you are in front of them, do something to allay the suffering out of compassion. Don't show impatience, and don't show aversion to sentient beings with suffering, because you have faith in the teaching. And so you have the power, you have the eye to see for what it is. So you have completely trusting faith, and that's the existence. You actually possess the faith, and then the quality is that your mind is so made clear, so clarified by the faith. There is no room for doubts or criticism about sufferings of sentient beings. You so clearly know sentient beings, due to their karma, due to affliction, their selfishness, they made suffering, and that's our object of compassion. There's no room for doubt that he's a unique sentient being. He's just one of every other sentient being who creates suffering unconsciously. And so you're so clear. You have this quality of knowing everything very clear. That's the power of faith. And then you have the nupa power, means then you have the strong desire. Strong desire to do something. The faith moves. There's a faith moves mountain. Then you can move and change things. So these are not intellectual faith. These are not kind of faith that is faith from coercion. This is from meditation. Remember, 4 legs of miracles is a meditative power. So now your faith has been consolidated and completely qualified by your meditative concentration. These are meditative concentration qualities of faith that derive from meditative concentration on the 4 seals of Dharma, and the 4 right efforts, and 4 legs of miracles. So that when we talk about these 37 factors of enlightenment, this fourth group is adding on top of the first three groups of four, the 12. It's like a stupa. If you look at the stupa is, Tibetan Buddhist stupa is all these 37 factors of enlightenment. The lowest ones is for close placement of mindfulness, and then on top of that, for right effort, then on top of that, four steps that represent the four legs of miracles, and then the 5 powers, and so on. So therefore, your 5 powers is part of having those 12 first factors of enlightenment up your sleeves. What is that? Meditative concentration. So your faith is derived from meditative concentration, not out of blind faith, not because you're biased to some people. People have faith in their own monks with their own color robes and don't want to follow the others. They have faith in the colors of robes. They have faith in robes. They don't have faith in knowing the Dharma themselves. So culturally, blindly following only Burmese monks, Thai, only Thai monks. They are following colors of the robes. They don't have faith derived from meditative concentration. If you have faith derived from meditative concentration, this is exactly the power of faith we're referring to. And what is the power? This has the power quality of this faith is you never doubt. You never lose faith in the teachings. You never misplace faith in some people or possessions or status. You always put faith in the Dharma, not in status or people. All these setbacks, people following some gurus, and then they realize these gurus are humans, and then they get disappointed because they they never have faith in the Dharma in the first place, And then they talk to a few friends. Oh, should we still work with him? Should we not work with him? No, we don't want to work with him. Ridiculous. They never heard any Dharma from. Maybe they never were taught the real Dharma even by the teacher. Unfortunately. No wonder they have no understanding of Dharma, because they are completely following blindly color of robes or status of the people, or when they lose that status, they are no longer friends. That kind of humans is an attachment. It's not faith. Attachment and faith should be distinguished. So that's why this power of the faith is that you do not invest into doubt and criticism anymore than you have wasted your time before, because you have the power of faith that makes you very steady and strong, and particularly because this faith derived through your meditative concentration, you never forget the qualities and blessings of the first 12 factors of conducive factors of enlightenment meditation. So your faith is invested in the first 12 factors of enlightenment. Therefore, you have this incredible faith. Second is the diligence or joyous effort. Yeah. Joyous effort. Joyous effort is to keep having this faith. Your faith and joyous effort are mutually inclusive. When you have faith, then your diligence is strong. People who are doubting, then diligence dashed. People who doubt in the following, and then they doubt. Then they throw the practice away. They don't want to do anything, and so on. Because when their faith is lost, then they don't have diligence. When the faith is alive, their diligence level is good. The joyous effort is so good that it becomes power of. This is power of diligence. This is different from we also talked about diligence before. This diligence is diligence of power of diligence. Previously is diligence of miraculous power, diligence of abstaining from this and practicing that. So while the 37 factors, if you look at some of them are repeated 6 or 7 times. Others only once. So, but there are different kind of diligence. In this case, the diligence, power of diligence. Not diligence to drop this particular thing only in specific areas. Not like that. This is the power of diligence in the meditative concentration and samadhi and the flavor of samadhi that derive from the 13 factors of enlightenment first. As a result of that, you have the power of joy or diligence in it like no other. The third is the power of mindfulness. This is different from the mindfulness of the mindfulness body is impure and things like that. This is a power of mindfulness that does not forget the clear and conscious understanding of the meditative concentration of all the former 14 conducive factors of enlightenment. Because then the factors of enlightenment they are much more stronger the quality than their former. So it's called the power of mindfulness. Power of never forgetting, unforgetfulness of the teachings of the Four Seals of Dharma, and for right efforts, for renunciations, and 4 legs of miracles, and the power of faith, and power of joyous effort. Now you have power of mindfulness. And deriving all of these things, not just conventionally or theoretically and conceptually, through the meditative concentration itself. And then, when you have the mindfulness, power of mindfulness, then you have power of meditative concentration. The fourth power is power of meditative concentration. Power of meditative concentration is when you have the meditative concentration, you always stay present in awareness of all the former conducive factors of enlightenment is always in your mind, on your mind, and it never leaves your mind. You don't see the impermanence of things. You always see the impermanence of things, unsatisfactoriness of things, and so on. There is no time they leave your space, so to speak. They're always present very clearly. Why? Because that is what is called power of meditative concentration. Now you're completely ekagrata, one-pointedly with all the conducive factors of enlightenment, like the broom is. Like the broom has many, many pieces of things, but when it is bound together, they all stay together. Like that, your power of meditative concentration keeps all the other broom-like pieces of the conducive factors of enlightenment in one pointed concentration. That's what I call power of meditative concentration. Mind is so one-pointed that it does not waver or drift to anything. Through the eyes or ears, it doesn't drift. So, therefore, you are completely now able to stay. You are able to not just conceptually meditate on emptiness of things. Now you are actually one-pointedly focused. Your meditation, calm abiding, previously calm abiding, but your mind is clearly seeing the sight of emptiness of things. When you meditative concentration, the power of meditative concentration. And this brings us to the fifth one. Fifth one is wisdom. The power of wisdom. Power of wisdom is that you are able to see the relative and ultimate characteristic of all phenomena. Relative truth, you can see all phenomena conventionally labeled this for that, and this is that, and so you have see various things for whatever they are, like tigers for tigers, dogs for dogs. You can see they are conventional. Ultimately, one has this amazing wisdom of discriminating awareness to see their lack of independently existing things, how merely imputed and propped up they are by many, many dependent origination factors. Because of that, this power of wisdom makes oneself to analyze the benefit of meditative concentration. Benefit of meditative concentration is to see the insight. So this is now glimpsing what we call part of the what you call the path of preparations. Path of preparations, the heat and peak and forbearance and excellent dharma. So these are the qualities. Now one is actually attaining. You know. Another thing is that the one's diligence, so one's wisdom, so to speak, one's wisdom and one's diligence and meditative mindfulness, faith, these 5 are like the 5 organs. It's like your organs of your enlightenment. That's what they call pancha indriya, 5 organs, 5 sense organs. They are just like the organs of your spiritual development. And they are inseparable. They're all interconnected, Because by engaging in the diligence activities, you are disciplined. You're disciplined. And with your discipline, you will develop the wisdom. So the meditation, the Shila, Samadhi, and Prajna, you can see the 3 higher trainings are now combined together. And one is able to remember them very clearly. And so, because of that, you are able to now engage into the discipline. You are able to practice your discipline. You are able to do your meditative concentration. So, and you also have the develop the wisdom. And sometimes it is called in the sutra that it is from here onwards the practitioner enters into the stream, the stream entry they call it. Stream entry. All the stream entry is technically Theravada thing, but nevertheless Theravada practitioner has to go through these stages because these 37 factors are also common to them, so you then enter into the stream and stream of your consciousness like a flows like a water. It doesn't get interrupted. Yeah. The diligence that you have is part of diligence that actually abides in the 4 renunciations. The 4 renunciation is completely actualized by this power of diligence. The power of faith is such that your mind is completely stable in the meditation of 4 closely placed mindfulness. You never forget the 4 closely placed mindfulness. That's what's power of mindfulness. Otherwise your mindfulness comes and goes. So when you have, but then you don't have anymore, then you don't have anymore. You don't have the power of the mindfulness because you don't have it. But this is the mindfulness, the power of mindfulness that doesn't leave you at all. It is always your possession, qualities, and power. So that's what's the power of mindfulness. And therefore, meditative concentration in the four meditative concentration in the what we call the worldly meditation, 4 worldly meditative concentration that goes work with the peak and the heat and forbearance and the excellent dharma meditation. Your concentration is very, very powerful. Meditative concentration is very powerful not to leave those 4 stages, 4 meditative absorptions. So, did you get it? The power of faith refers to being able to stably hold, clearly seeing the faith in the four seals of Dharma, and power of diligence is always abiding in the 4 renunciations. 4 renunciation. And power of mindfulness is always remembering the four placement of mindfulness, 4 foundation of mindfulness. And part of meditative concentration is always remaining in the 4 samadhis of meditative absorptions related with the four stages of the path of preparation. And what is power of wisdom? Power of wisdom is clearly seeing the 4 noble truths. Yeah. Clearly seeing the 4 noble truths. Power of clearly seeing the 4 noble truths. Wisdom of 4 noble truths. And the word power means also owning or conquering. Yeah. So basically, you are conquering. You have complete dominance over each of those subject and objects of your range. So, what does faith overpowers? Faith overpowers worldly dharma, doubts, and it does not allow yourself to dwindle or relapse into doubt and criticism. If you have ever enjoyed the power of faith. Some people's faith is like that, isn't it? Their faith in Dharma is so strong. No matter what happens, thick and thin, they are still just like one same person you knew. Why? Because their faith has the possession, has the full quality that it doesn't drift into doubt and criticism. Because their faith is they totally conquer it, they totally own it. They have complete right over the faith. They don't have any danger of losing to doubt and criticism because their setbacks, because of sickness, because of their some difficulty. They don't lose their faith into any of that because they have faith that transcended the difficulties that actually present with the shaky faith, you know. And likewise, your diligence and your diligence, your mindfulness, your wisdom and meditation are all having power into. Power of diligence means you never become lazy. You never have subjected to danger of becoming lazy, or you never have danger of forgetting because you have the mindfulness, and you always discern the wisdom of emptiness. And you're always in the meditative concentration. Even you are doing normal things. Your mind is still in the powerful state of one-pointed concentration. So that's when the power means they never lose, but they never lose. It's like your room is your bucket is always full of potency. You always have a full tank. You always have a full tank of faith. You have always a full tank of mindfulness, and you're never depleted or running out of them. This is the kind of power we are talking about. It is said that these 5 powers are named after 5 sense organs we call sense power. Sense power. If you have eyes, you wouldn't believe how powerful, how valuable an organ it is. You can enjoy the beauty, you can enjoy the road, the nature, everything when you have eye. When you have no eye, you're blind. The faith is the eye of eye. Actual eye, this physical eye is just a fleshy eye. If you have faith, you really have the eye. So that's why each of the 5 powers are named after sense organs. Whether it's eyes or ears, just doesn't matter. Say for instance, if you don't have sight, how debilitating it is. But as soon as you have your cataract removed, you can see incredible, and how much power and how much joy and how much you can do. You can find your way and so on. Likewise, when you have put your faith. When you have faith in the Dharma, 4 seals of Dharma, it gives you so much insight to not to desire undesirable ones, not to apprehend impermanent things as permanent. Because you have the sight to see what is impermanent as impermanent, And you have no likelihood of danger of apprehending it as a permanent. And when things change, you're never disappointed because you will still have the eye. You didn't lose your eyes there. See, this is why it's named after the word Indra. Indra means power. The power, when we say power, When you have no faith, what can you study Dharma for? How can people think Buddhism is with not faith? It's a philosophy. I can't get it. It has nothing to do with faith. It's not a religion. Gosh, why do we have to try to water down a so beautiful thing? Faith empowers you to remember impermanent things as impermanent and suffering as a suffering, and you do not go and try to grab some unsatisfactory things as satisfactory things. Even some unsatisfactory things are relatively satisfactory. You never get attached to them. Why? You have the eyes to see that it is not satisfactory, that is not permanent, not truly existing. You can see. They can see. They are the seer. Now they have become seers. This seeing has come from meditation. Remember, the path of meditation, path of preparation is a meditative state. An advanced practitioner can reach the path of preparation. To have the faith, eyes of the faith in the truthfulness of Dharma. It has never likelihood of misapprehending self with aggregates, for instance. One sees no self in the aggregates. If you are Vajrayanis, you see the self as a deity. There's no danger of you citing the self as a self. You see that as a deity. That is the eye of power you were talking about. You actually see all forms as a deity because you have the power of the faith to see that way. And you have the mindfulness of not forgetting that. That's why repeatedly we do sadhana, so that we don't forget that all forms are deities, all sound is mantra, and so on. Another mention we can say is faith, power of faith is in the never have doubt about the teachings of the Dharma and faith in the Triple Gem. Yeah? So you have the power of faith in the Dharma and your karma. No matter what good you did, if you don't get rewarded, if you did a miserable 10-day retreat, you didn't feel any good, you don't think, that was not good, you don't like that. You still have faith that will never go astray. So you don't assess childishly, short-sightedly like that. You always have this steadiness and the faith in the Triple Gem and the teaching. When you have no faith, you are blind. Another faith is that your faith inspires you every day. You are kept inspired every day. One of the function of the faith is it keeps your inspiration alive. It is not likelihood of losing it to doubt and the negativities. You will never lose your faith because it is your delightfulness comes from the having understood the teaching and its clarification. It's happening. You're always practicing clarification when you practice the Dharma clarification. The Dharma clarify your mind more and more, and so because of that, your faith is a lived through practice. It's not a prerequisite, but it's a day-to-day kind of a provision of your growth. When you have faith, like a person who has eyes, with his eyes he can go anywhere. There's no one day he doesn't say, oh, today I may give a break to the eye. No, every day he uses his eyes to find his way around. Likewise, people who have faith in Dharma is constantly using, in a very, very awkward situation, they switch on the faith and then they clarify again. Again and again and again. And again, they will have faith in the law of cause and effect, saying that every single little difficulty they go through, experientially, physically, they know this is inevitably a result of past actions of my own. They don't even have to doubt who did this to me, type of thing. They don't look for these what do we call close near causes. They look for remote causes that we can't recognize. And they can see through their faith and the law of karma that they themselves have created A, B, C to experience this. This person or that person may have been the near cause to be conditioned to bring like a messenger, but actual karma is created by myself. So that kind of a clarification happens when you have faith, power of faith. And even when you go into lots of suffering and difficulties, you still know, I must have created a more severe cause of suffering like this on other people for sure. And you don't doubt about that. You are completely sure that this is a purification of such action that one has created in the past to other people. Because of that, your power of faith makes you to believe in the law of causality even more. And going back to the diligence, the diligence is, it enables yourself to abandon both physical and mental kind of inconsistency, and so you are very diligent to eradicate them, physical and mental attitude or physical habits or whatever they are. And you are very, very diligent to acquire whatever are the positive qualities. So your mind is very delighted in doing that. And you always never say no to do good deeds. Not just those things you have allocated time to do, but with others, or when you know it needs to be done, you just so incredibly energy, you will do it, and to inspire everyone else, because you have the power of the diligence in doing good deeds. When someone with diligence doing good deeds does, he or she inspires others. He boosts the morale of others because of his energy. His own energy is so virtuous, so wholesome, and so diligent and joyously available that also energy inspires others. He does not waste any time in laziness and idleness and procrastination in doing non-virtuous deeds, because he has the power not to lose any time, not to be poor in time, and never do things on time and thinking lagging behind. He does not suffer in that. That's why he has this heat. That's why he has the peak. He has this heat, extraordinary heat of meditation and extraordinary peaking of his experiences of joy and diligence and so on. That's why those are named as a peak, and heat, and has incredible forbearance that he never had before. He never forget the importance of each of those other conducive factors of enlightenment, and by relying upon which you can only develop this power of diligence and mindfulness and meditative concentration. Another power of mindfulness is mindful of not forgetting the form, the terms, terminologies, and the definitions, and retention of their meanings, and becoming very acquainted with these So mindfulness of remembering what is the third, what is the fourth, why the third is third, and so on of the teachings. Your mind is a repository of the teachings, like the art of non-forgetfulness. Meditative concentration. Of the power of meditative concentration is just like a lamp placed inside a room where there's no draft or wind. It burns very steady and very, very bright. And likewise, person who's doing meditative, his mind is never clouded or overtaken by hijacked by any afflictive emotions. The wind of afflictive emotion does not occur, does not deter his or her meditative concentration. And his mind is constantly meditating on the truthfulness of the Four Noble Truths. That is the wisdom, because he's completely comprehended the wisdom of the Four Noble Truths. It's called prajna, a Sanskrit word. The fifth power is part of wisdom is prajna. Pra has a meaning of perfect, Ya has a meaning of knowing, perfect knowing. Perfect knowing. What is the perfect knowing? It knows the Four Noble Truths. It knows the truth of suffering. Yeah? As the nature of samsara. It abandons the true origin of suffering, that is the grasping and afflictions. It knows how to yield the cessation of suffering, because it meditates on the practice of the wisdom, on the staying on the path. So if you look at these five powers, part of wisdom is the perfection of special insight. So you basically have the power of vipassana. Power of vipassana is called extraordinary seeing. So wisdom is extraordinary seeing. It's perfect seeing. It's not ordinary seeing. Cow for cow, dog for dog, person per person. This, even that people think you recognize. But this is the seeing the truth of phenomena as it is. And the power of meditative concentration is power of calm abiding. Power of wisdom is power of special insight. Power of mindfulness is restraining the five senses and mindfully guarding them. And power of wisdom, power of diligence, is continuously staying present in maintaining one-pointed concentration. So, the diligence is the cause, and one-pointed concentration is the result. And power of faith is the activity. And the activity of producing power of meditative concentration and power of wisdom. In other words, they say power of faith enables oneself to stay very disciplined into your shila. And when one who has a great possession of shila guards his precepts, abstains from wrongdoing, practice the good virtues doing, because of that, it is the power of faith makes oneself to believe in the practicing of the precepts, and as a result of guarding the precept accordingly, it gives him joy, and this joy gives him the power of meditative concentration, and so the unition of the the diligence and meditative concentration is caused by the faith, and this gives the actual meditative concentration. Even the samadhi relies heavily on the leg-like practice. The 4 legs of miracles is basically the 4 diligence, 4 right effort, then gives the leg of the determination and so on. And so then you actually have the samadhi. The samadhi comes from Shila. And cause of samadhi is diligence. And mindfulness, power of mindfulness, power of wisdom are all caused by the former. So the ultimate cream of the result of all of this is the prajna. Prajna is the result, and samadhi is the activity, and the cause is the shila. Yeah? And so therefore it says that these 5 powers have five objects. Yeah, 5 objects. What are the objects? Is enlightenment. And the conduct of how to stay guarding in the path of enlightenment, and that he must listen to the teachings. His focus is teaching. He listens to the teaching. He hears the teaching. What he hears the teaching, in order to attain Buddhahood, he conducts accordingly. So his conduct and his knowledge and his purpose of his activities are all focused to then achieve calm abiding and special insight. Because of that, it is the power of faith that brings enlightenment. Because of that, it is the power of mindfulness that brings the mindfulness of enlightenment. It is because the power of mindfulness that gives him the power of joyfulness, and so on. And the more his faith is cultivated, more inexhaustible his faith is. Because it is inexhaustible faith that becomes the cause of development of the prajna, the wisdom. The object of power of diligence is conduct. So one has to be diligent with one's conduct, and when one is very conscious of the conduct, in diligence is directed to one's conduct, and therefore the diligence becomes combines coalesces or gathers together the harmony of the trilogy of Shila, Samadhi, and Prajna. The power of meditation, power of recollection, power of mindfulness remembers the teaching. The objects of power of mindfulness is the teachings. So the object of the mindfulness is teachings, truthfulness. And when he hears the teaching, he reflects the teaching, he remembers the teaching. So his object is always the teachings. And so when he's objectifying his mind on the teaching, he's always mindful. But mindfulness is powerful mindfulness. Because the mindfulness do not forget the meaning and words and definition of the words. And because of that, you can see how these 5 powers are like the 5 organs of the same person. When all the 5 organs are intact, the person can function very well. Likewise, when you have all this faith, all the way to the faith up to wisdom, then they are all aiming to achieve the same goal: one-pointed concentration. Why is these 5 powers presented in this order? It is said that in order to seek the result of nirvana, enlightenment, first you need to have faith in the enlightenment. By having the seed of faith in the enlightenment, you become so delighted by joyous effort in hearing the qualities of enlightened beings, incredible qualities, and therefore you are naturally focusing in doing good deeds that earns the enlightenment and abstains the bad deeds that keeps you in samsara. So that's the object of diligence is actions, conduct. So there are thou shalt not and thou shalt. And so his object is motivated by enlightenment as the fruit of his enlightenment, which is inspired by faith. His diligence is motivated by faith to attain the Buddhahood, and then abstention of all the non-virtuous deeds. And as a result of having practiced, this is talking about why these 5 powers are given in this sequence, yeah? But as a result of practicing diligence, then there's no likelihood of you forgetting what you have heard. Is not just a conceptual, not just a list of things you took or write down, but you're actually practicing them. Because you're putting diligence in them, your mindfulness never suffer the attention deficit, so to speak. You will never lose the memory of what you're meant to be doing. And so because of that, you have the mindfulness, power of mindfulness. If you do not suffer the loss of mindfulness, that's the reason why you will keep the meditative concentration strong. Your meditative concentration is totally dependent on the existence of mindfulness. So that's why the sequence. You first have the faith, then the diligence, then the mindfulness, and then the meditation. Because then the meditation is harnessed by mindfulness. And then you have the power of concentration. Only when you have the power of one-pointed concentration, then can you focus one-pointedly on the definitive meaning of lack of inherent existence of phenomena as it is. So therefore, wisdom is the last of the 5 powers. Another reason why the sutra talks about why the 5 powers are listed in this order is as the first is faith. Why? Because the faith makes oneself to have faith in 4 things. What are the 4 things? One focuses on the nature of samsara, And when you see the nature of samsara, you don't have to doubt samsara is but unsatisfactory. You do not desire for another part of samsara to go to as an alternative, because you do not go from one part of the ocean to another to taste the water. All part of the water is salty, so therefore you are so faithful that samsara is unsatisfactory. And all the karma. So then you have the faith, and the second one is faith in the results of experiences. All of your experience in life, you have faith, and there are necessary similar causes oneself has created in the past. So you have faith in the karma in the samsara. So we only experience samsara due to our own karma. So faith in the samsara and faith in the karma in samsara. And the third is that you could never run away or escape from the things that one has previously created causes of. So whenever you experience something, you know for sure this is exactly what I have done in the past. So you have faith that you should forbear and tolerate it, and you will not try to run away and avoid and outsmart the law of causality. And fourth one is that even at the cost of life, you will do no negative karma at all cost. So that is the the faith in the law of cause and effect, basically faith. So the power of faith is therefore in samsara and the suffering and the retribution, and that you will not try to run away, avoid it, even at the cost of your life. So, because one knows the nature of samsara and the karma and the nature of suffering that comes about, one has incredible compassion to sentient beings. If you have compassion to sentient beings, means you have faith in the law of karma. Your compassion will never be unrewarded, and your compassion is never wasted on sentient beings suffering. Whatever one experiences in samsara is in samsara, caused by beings in samsara. And only beings who are able to go beyond samsara are those who are actually have the right view, the ability to realize right view, that even karma and the samsara are impermanent. And so one is not intimidated by the severity of suffering and samsara, because even samsara and suffering are not permanent. And if you do not purify your karma, or even you do partially purify your karma, or don't purify your karma now, you will definitely have a next life. So you have this faith that you will definitely have a next life, that you will you will have to repeat again if you don't if you don't own the negative karma or these now. You definitely have faith that you can't run away in the future. So you have complete faith in the existence of next life as a dint of this life and the former lives. So you can see, the more you know about these things, more the faith becomes important. The existence of past life, existence of future life, a belief in the law of karma. So these are all Buddhism with faith, Buddhism with beliefs. And oneself knows that even if one did something good in recent years and one didn't have any beneficial outcome yet, one does not have any doubt but have faith. But it will never go astray. It will always be rewarded, and so therefore you have every faith that your good deeds or your misdeeds will never go without ripening the fruit sooner or later. It goes on and on about karma, and next is power of diligence. So the power of diligence is whatever you are having very lot of confidence in whatever you're doing, and that very subject, whatever you're doing, you have four very strong points. To empower yourself with the dispensation of your diligence, because by the power of faith, the faith is maintained. Likewise, power of diligence, that you will not be drawn or swayed by negative. You have the power of restraining from negativities, and power to stay within the virtuous deeds, and therefore you have the power of diligence. Not the power of not the kind of diligence that you feel little bit later on you have to sigh of relief and then you become lazy again. No, the power of diligence that actually gives you intelligence, more diligence, more energy. The more energy that you give, it gives you, rewards you with more energy. It doesn't deplete you. It'll deplete you with energy. And likewise, part of mindfulness is that your power of mindfulness, for instance, in doing virtuous deeds or abstaining non-virtuous deeds, whatever mindfulness you direct to, you are so swift and accurate and effective in whatever you do. Because of that, you are delighted by the efficacy of your effort that you put. And you are able to abandon the non-virtues and able to rejoice the virtues, however long it takes. It delights you more and more. And because of that, you can see mindfully the efficacy of your energy that is dispensed for the sake of that. And then you don't forget. Your mind is ever more clarified by the power of mindfulness. And the power of meditative concentration is that by the power of your mindfulness, your energy, your organ of mindfulness is sharpened. As a result of that, it not only do not forget the object of meditation, but it has one pointed, sharp, serene focus of concentration. And so non-forgetfulness sharpens your concentration, and your concentration brings you the flavor of the experience of the samadhi, of not wavering your mind by any distraction or excitement or dullness or anything like that. Because of that, your mind is one-pointedly have the power to stay focused. And likewise, the power of wisdom. The power of wisdom is whatever meditative concentration makes you to focus on an object, you are able to see one-pointedly the nature of relative characteristic of the phenomena, exactly like putting a pomegranate or piece of fruit on your palms. You can see clearly all the color and so on, texture. Likewise, you can see the nature of phenomena exactly from a relative point of view as well as from the ultimate point of view. Ultimately, it sees the lack of any independent, inherently, unitarily, permanently existing thing whatsoever. So, just to conclude, just like the other factors of enlightenment we talked about, the 12 factors of enlightenment, likewise these 5 powers also has objective, nature, accompaniment, meditation, and the result. So the object of the 5 powers is the 4 noble truths and the relevant subject we talked about. And there is no time that your faith, your diligence, your mindfulness, your meditative concentration, and your wisdom are not focusing on the veracity and truthfulness of 4 noble truths, So therefore, objective of the meditation of the 5 powers are always the truthfulness of the 4 noble truths. Not a conceptual one, the actual meditative one. Meditatively, you're one-pointedly always present in the meditation. The one who on the path of preparation does whatever he outwardly seems to do, things like, but he's always mindfulness of the 4 noble truths. That is objective meditation. And the nature are all the nature of each of the 5, the nature of the 5, and so on, as we discussed already. And accompaniment is that whoever have each of these faith, they have the lack of doubt. Opposite of faith is doubt. So you have possession, your accompaniment of faith means you have no danger of befriending doubt. You have no danger of befriending laziness, and so on. So your mind is completely accompanied by the nature of those 5 qualities, And the meditation is always on the 4 noble truths. With complete faith and certitude and certainty in the truthfulness and unquestionability, incontrovertible nature of the 4 noble truths. The meditation of faith is, the person is meditation on the faith is, person is always in the faith in the teaching. Wherever he goes, he never loses the faith. He's always in meditation on the faith. He's not doing one moment this, another moment different. He's always in the meditative state of faith in the truthfulness of the Four Noble Truths. And the meditative concentration of diligence is, and his or her energy or diligent effort is directed to reject the opposite of four renunciations. So it is always meditating on what one needs to reject, the wrong views. Opposite the Four Noble Truths, opposite of the four inappropriate thoughts about the four seals of Dharma, thinking things should be satisfactory, things should last long, all these sort of things. I wish things doesn't change. I wish things were not like this, all that kind of thing. One does not. One is diligently rejoicing the impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and lack of true things. One is completely repelling the opposite, because the right effort is put to repel the lazy way of thinking. I don't want this type of thing. And the meditation of mindfulness is this: not forgetting the sweet victory, sweet taste of meditation. Never forgetting meditation. Never forgetting the flavor of meditative concentration, so that your mind is always in that state. No matter where you are, your overall mind is still in that non-forgetful state of part of mindfulness. And a meditative concentration is never distracted from knowing the Four Noble Truths clearly. And by wisdom, of course, one is constantly seeing the nature of phenomena as the nature of it is. And the result is the realization of Four Truths. See? In this case, you realize the Four Noble Truths ultimately only on the path of preparation. Any understanding that people have on the Four Noble Truths prior to that is only conceptual. Only conceptual and philosophical. The result is therefore realization of Four Truths, and so when we next week's topic is five strengths. It's not power, the strengths. So these are very five, but they have additional qualities additional qualities that wasn't quite present in the five powers. So we'll conclude here. Thank you, everyone. We'll do the dedication merits. Om Bodh Gaya da deva zage om nez me alebere obi from the ocean Bodh zene de hereda Mahayana de Kareva Merera Havagra Meobe Begazela Choda Mahayana de Kareja Manjujene Azama Tabara Lava Follow de zamba asha de ge o de mere me de sele bo de jeda trebe no ya raza has been bo me de rele da de generation. Thank you, everyone.